What's going, guys? So I just ordered the new Shimano Bantam. I have the old one for about a year now. I just want to try the new one, see if it's any improvement. So I'm gonna do a comparison video for you guys, so you guys don't have to buy it and compare it like I did. First off, the difference, noticeable difference, the color. The new one is like a gunmetal. The old one, it has a silverish color to it. It's also gunmetal, but the new one's more like a flat gray color. You can see the difference. Don't mind my old one. It has a few scratches because I fell while I was fishing with it at the aqueduct. So these both are the XG reel, which is the high gear ratio, which is the 8. Or this one from Digital was $250, I believe, which is a good deal. It's a good time to buy a reel right now on Digital with the currency so low. Size is about the same. The handle, I would say. See the color. The handle on this one is dark color, and this one is a silver color. I think it would be nicer if I switch these two handle, so this handle matches the reel and this handle matches this reel. You can see the color differences. One is very dark, one is silver. But as soon as I opened this reel, the new one, I did notice something when I took off the side plate. It came with the damaged O-ring. So the O-ring that seals the side plate, when I opened it up, it was already cracked. And I checked online on the Shimano website, and they're out of stock. So that means that I'm not the only person having this issue. A lot of people's having the issue with they're gonna be out of stock, the O-ring, because it goes in right here in this groove to have a tight seal on it. So I emailed Digital. I'm still waiting for a reply from them, but I did check Shimano website. They don't have this O-ring in stock. It's the only thing that's out of stock for this reel. So it seemed like that's gonna be a common issue. So you guys do get one, do check that O-ring out. But let's compare the rest of the reel. Alright, first off, let's check how much each weighed. So I do have a scale here, kind of old and dirty, but I'm gonna do in ounces. So let's start with the older model. See how much that weighed. So I don't know if you can see that, but it says 7.97. Let's take it off again and do it again. 7.96. Let's do it again. Let's zero it out. Let's do that again. 7.98. Alright, let's take it off again. Let's do it again. 7.97. So 7.97 seems to be the average since it did twice. Let's go with that. And then for the new one, let's weigh that one. 7.91. Let's zero it out. Let's try that again. 7.91. So zero it out. 7.89. So it's in the 7.91 range. 7.91. Yep. So 7.91 for the new one. Let's go back to the old one. 7.97. So yep. So it's about 0.06 ounce difference, not too much. let's just do the spool. The spool is different, and I'll show you guys the side plate. Side plate looks the same. One is just silver, one is just black, but the inside does look different though. And it only has four brakes for the old one. Let's check the new one out. So the only difference I noticed just from looking at it, just that lip right there is longer than the old one. The old one doesn't have that black lip. The new one has a black lip, but it looks similar beside that. And then the new one does have six brakes on it. So difference on the spool, 4 brakes versus 6 brakes, so more adjustability. Let's make the spool for the old one and see what that's at. Let's take both out first so we can compare them. So I do notice that the old spool does have more drill holes on it. I'm assuming it should be lighter because there's less material on it, but we'll have to check that out right now. Has a bearing on it. Has a bearing. Has a seal. This one does stick out a little bit more. All right. So looking at these two spool, the new one does have a MGL spool marking on it. The old one doesn't have any marking. The bearings, it does have a spring under this bearing right here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it does have a spring in there. The old one doesn't have that. It doesn't bounce unless it's missing, but because I didn't get this one new, I got a used, so but there is no spring in there. I haven't checked the diagram, but I'll take pictures so you guys can see clearly. See the spring side of it. This one doesn't have anything. Alright, so let's go into weighting these spools, see which one is lighter. Let's go with the old one first. 0.049. I'm gonna do it 5 times and do the average, okay? 0.05, so half an ounce. 2. 0.05, that's 3. 0.051, that's 4. 0.049, so let's just say it's half an ounce. The scale keep jumping, so let's try the new one. 0.052, one time, second time. 0.052, do it again. 0.052, fourth time. 0.051, let's do that again. Let's put it better. 0.053, so part of 0.052, 0.051, it's about almost the same, just slightly heavier. I'm gonna see if this two reels gonna be interchangeable. So this is the new spool. I'm gonna put it into the old reel and see if that will work. See if it's an upgrade for the old one, but no, it doesn't fit the old one. The lip is a little bit bigger, so it doesn't fit. Yeah, it would make sense for them to make it not fit. So how about the old one to the new reel? I'm sure it'll fit because the lip is smaller, but it's not gonna. Let's see. See if we can close it. It works. You can close it. so the old spool can go into, so you can see that, I don't know if you can see that, but let's just put a light on it. I don't know if you can see that, man. So there's a little gap on the spool, so it's not really flush. So at least we know it fits. Yeah, so that spring does help the spool stay flush in there and bounce back. This one doesn't have a spring, so it's bouncing. Just doesn't have that spring in there. Alright, well, let's see if this side plate will fit into the new one. Oh, so the old side plate worked as well for the new one. Interesting. Let's put the new side plate on the old rail. See, that works as well. Oh, the new one is slightly bigger, so it doesn't fit in place, but the old one seems to lock in place pretty nice. Yeah, it works. So the old one can be put into the new one, but the new one does not fit the old one. But like I said, it does have a bad O-ring, so I'm gonna have to get that replaced. Let's see what Digital guys reply back first. See if they're gonna send me a new one or I have to buy one. It's only like $2, but that's $2 for a brand new rail. So appreciate it if they just send me a new one. What happened here? Okay, there we go. I need to clean this rail. It's been a while since I took it apart, so I'm gonna do a internal comparison as well. We're gonna take it apart and then compare the internals. I guess so. We're gonna take this apart. I'm just gonna check the internals, see how the internals compare, see how the gears and the teeth looks. So what I usually use, a little flathead on a forehead screwdriver, a 10mm. That's basically it, the truth. And then I have the interchangeable, so a forehead and the flat is all I need. Forehead flat. I have a bearing tool just so I could test bearing. I have oil, grease. I have a tool to take out the pin for some of the bearings. So let's get started the old reel. I always usually loosen the drag as much as I can all the way. Easiest thing to take out is the spool. Move this out of the way on the side because we don't need them yet. Take out that. Take out the spool. Take out the cap. you've never done this, it's usually easier if you put in an order so that way you can go back to it. So these rail is clockwise to loosen, counterclockwise to tighten. So it's the opposite of what you're used to. Try to keep this together because it has the clicker in here. Take out the cap. That is dirty. I do need to clean it. This is the spring for the drag star. Take out these screws, nut and washer. So this usually is 3 washer on most drill, 3 washers, and this a washer on the bearing if the reel has a bearing. This one has a bearing, so this is a washer there. There's usually 3 screw here. Some has 4. Sometimes these screws are different size, so just keep track of what go what. The top one is the shortest, and 2 bottom one are. Bottom one is the longest. The bottom left is the longest. The bottom right is a little bit longer. So you gotta keep track of that. It's the gearing inside of it. Just remember that this is a washer here on the key. The bearing as well. Goes there, goes there. Push the key out. That's it for the side plate, unless you want to take out the anti-reverse. But I don't take that out. Put this on the side. This is the gear. This is the brakes. Two springs, take those out. I think that's all we need to take out so we can compare it. These are the stock Shimano discs. The inside is a different material. Alright, so that's done. Let's go ahead and take off the other one. Let's move over a little bit so that we have a better view of it. Okay, so this is the damn O-ring that came damaged. Alright, so same thing, loosen the drag all the way. Take out the spool. Take out the lock. No, it's not facing it. Handle, star, spring. Nope. Tighten it too much. This one is brand new, so I had never taken this one apart before. So see the brass washer, two, I call them the pushing washer that push on your drags, and then the bearing with one of the brass washer, same thing, 3 screws. On top is usually the shortest. That one's the longest. Same thing. Plate. Picking up the bearing. Get the key. This one's brand new, so it's to have raw grease. So that, and you guys want to replace the bearing, the bearings in here as well, the spool bearing, you can replace that. And you can see the stock one is over greased for my liking, but it stays smoother that way. So I'm not gonna flush it out this time. There's a key. So all the internals off. Looks exactly the same. T brakes the same. Look under here. So this plate is different. You always remember that there is a groove inside here. It's like an indent that always goes on the bottom, and you accidentally flip it, it will work, but then you lose drag because of that indentation in there, the key right there. So I think this one I swap out the drag, the brake before. I don't think that's the right one in there. So you can see this one, it's a thin, long one. These two, looks pretty similar. It's the same size, same exact size. These two, this one does look a little bit, the new one does look a little bit thicker. So maybe the spool shaft is a little bit thicker. Or to my eyes, that's what I'm seeing. But we could weigh these gear and see if there's any difference in the weight. But pretty much it looks the same to me. So let it zero out. This is a new brass. 57. Let's do it 3 times just to get the weight. 55. Let's do it again. 55. Let's do that one more time. So we got 56. So I'm gonna say it's 56 average. This one's 57. 57. 57. So everything looks similar beside these two gears. And brakes the same. I'm gonna have to clean this. It's a little bit dirty. Exactly the same, matched up and everything. Yep, looks like the same gears. So this is the new plate. This is the old plate. Let's see if it fits onto the new reel. See, fits perfectly. It's not much of a difference, in my opinion. I think it's just the hype. The only thing the difference is this gear, which makes the disc different. Let's see. See the difference between these two plates. It has a bearing there. It's exactly the same to me. I do not see any difference. Let's see if I can swap over these part over to the new gear. Let's see if it will work. Let's see if I can put the new gears into the old reel. That's pretty much it. Make sure it works. In case anybody wants to upgrade the new gears, I don't think it makes any difference, but I guess it is slightly different because I can't close it. No, it's close. Alright, it's close. Let's see if it works. Bearings. Everything works the same. Alright, let's put the screws in. Let's put the screws in, tighten it down, put the spool in, see if it turns. Don't want to damage anything yet, but let's do it slowly. I think the spool doesn't fit because of that only. Let's see, put the old ones in. It turns. Everything works. So basically I could put all the new parts from the new one into the old ones and it'll still work the same. See? The new one comes with the same color caps as the old color. So if I probably just swap these part over so that matches, because this is the one that originally has on it and part of the same color as the new one. Yeah, I'm just gonna switch the two handles to the same exact size. This is the 96mm one, so that they match the reel. I think I'll like that better. I don't really care, but alright, so let's wait if this is the key difference between the two reels and the weight, because it's not aluminum. This is aluminum. It feels like plastic. Definitely feel like plastic. That's part where it lost the weight. So let's do the weight comparison. Zero that out, put that in. 0.15 ounce, so 0.15 ounce, 0.15 ounce. Let's do something. 17 ounce, 20 ounce, 17 ounce, 16 ounce. Let's do this one now. 21 ounce, 22 ounce. So that seemed to be where they lost the weight in this washer only. That's gonna be the biggest difference. I'm gonna reassemble this one first. I think this one I'm gonna have to clean it a little bit. Been a while since I took it apart. Like I said, been about a year. It looks kind of dirty, so I'm gonna show you guys how I reassemble this just really quickly. So you gotta remember what go first. All right, this thing goes on the bottom. This thing, you can flip it. When you flip it, your drag doesn't work, so you gotta be careful. Sometimes I forget, I just put it in and let's see how it sits. If it sits like this, that's wrong. It's supposed to sit flush, so just make sure that it's flush. So we have it backward. I'm sure the gear can go in. Two spring goes in. This one, brakes go on top. Then the main gear go in. The brakes drag go in. Just make sure it's flush. So remember, the groove is always on the bottom, so that way it has pressure on the drag. And then the key goes to slot. Sit flush. Casing go on. Make sure it's flush. Me, I always like to put my washer in. The brass washer. And these two. So the way you want to put these in, they have a little curve to it. It's curving up. So you want the bottom one to curve up, and you want the top one to curve down, so that way they're making contact when it's tying down. I don't think it matters much, but that's just how we always done it. This side, this washer has two sides. One is dirty, one is shiny. Shiny always go on top. And then this nut goes in. It's counterclockwise to tighten down. So that way the key washer and it doesn't come back up. Hold this plate in. So a small screw on top, medium screws to the right, longest screw to the left. Just tighten it down. You don't want to tighten it all the way, just tighten it enough so that the plate doesn't fall off. And then once you have all the screws in place, you can tighten all of it, so that way everything is even and balanced. That's pretty much the hard part. Star. Remember that this one has the clicker. This star doesn't have a little pin in there, so don't lose that pin. If you lose that pin, then it won't make the clicking noise anymore when you tighten down. You want to tighten some more down. Just hold that pin. We forgot one thing. Spring. I'm gonna line up so that way the drag goes down. This is a position that needs to go down on. Okay. So much grease that everything just stick to everything. Put that down. Put the nut in. Just enough. And then we'll go ahead and put in the spool in, put the cover side on. Sure it locks. This thing, you can either put it earlier, I like to put it last so that the spool goes in easier. There's no pressure on the spool shaft. That's that. Let's see if we can make sure the drag is tightening and untightening. Just tighten down enough so we can tighten this down. Make sure it lines. So I just make sure the nut doesn't fall off. Just like that. Simple as that. Because all the grease on the new rails, it's not going to be spinning as fast as a clean rail, but it still works. Alright, that's simple enough. I don't know if you guys want to see me clean this other rail, but I'm going to end the video here. I just want to make some comparison there. As you can see, not much was different. The only difference was this part right here. Because this part is smaller than the other one, the disc is smaller, so that way it goes over the disc and put pressure to create your drag. I'm sure we could upgrade this to the other one as well. I'm gonna have to mess around with this some other time, just swap out parts, see if it makes any difference. But that's pretty much for this video. I just want to show you guys the difference. Everything looks the same. As you can see, the weight of each reel, the new one is a little bit lighter, not by much, but by about 0.06 ounces. The spool, they're almost the same, just maybe like 0.01 ounce, 0.02 ounce difference. Handle, drag, start, everything looks the same. Seems to be the same material. These other smaller parts in here look exactly the same. The key's the same. It is a little bit thinner. It's not as wide as the other gear. But to me, the main gear looks exactly the same. So I'm gonna have to clean this one, see how dirty that is. I'm gonna see if I could kind of sand it down so get all that dirty black stuff off. Alright guys, well, thank you for joining me in the video. You guys have any question, go ahead and put in the comments. If you guys, if I'm missing anything or I get anything wrong, please correct me. I have not used this new reel yet. I just got it yesterday, so I'm gonna plan to take it out soon, but I want to place this sail first. I don't think it's gonna matter. I don't think it's gonna affect the performance of it. I think it's just here to keep the reel clean so nothing gets inside of it. So I might just take it out and test it out when I get a chance. But I did email Digitaka, see if they could send me a new O-ring, because I did check on the Shimano. They're currently out of stock, so that tells me that a lot of other people have been having the same issue, which is not good. I'm gonna see if I could order the one for this one. This is a little bit smaller, but I think I could force it to fit, because they do have this one in stock from the older one. It is $1 only. And then I think shipping is like $5, so it's gonna be like $6. But I'll go ahead and update you guys on that if I could, whenever I get a chance to order that ring for me. I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. I'm gonna clean this one, put this one together for my next trip. All right, thank you guys.